shall we? Cut myself off on that. Welcome to some Blue Jays talk here on the podcast, as all of a sudden the Blue Jays are hot. This team, they just completed a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals, and things are waking up in a big time way, specifically for this offense. You had a pretty good sense Bo was going to have a bounce back year. Vlad was going to get his. What has really turned this into, I think, a good offense is Springer and Kirk being on fire. Kirk, it feels legit. We talked about this in the preseason. We've talked about this for a couple of preseasons. Anytime you watch a visiting broadcast of the Blue Jays, they gush about, that this is just a guy who, just a professional hitter. That's what he is. Just a professional's professional, going out, getting the job done, and lighting things up. That's what he is. He just rolls out of bed and hits 300. Wish we would have saw that for a little bit more, but he is doing that now. I don't think the power numbers are ever going to come back to where they were in his all-star season, but he's looking like an all-star again. Cal Raleigh is obviously going to be the starting catcher, but after that, I think Kirk deserves a spot on this team. He has been excellent with the Blue Jays, coming up with big hit after big hit after big hit, and just so consistent at the plate, and having that reliability behind Bo and Vlad is so very important. And that one I think is sustainable. Springer, we'll see. I do think that he is being kept fresh by playing DH more. He has kind of figured out how to be an effective designated hitter and what keeps him engaged in the game more and more. He is making some very strong contact on some of these balls. And so I have really liked what I've seen from him. The big breakout is obviously Addison Barger, who one baseball said something to him one time, and now he is taking it out on all of them. He is hitting the ball so hard as this goes along. And this is why, like, some of the little call-ups last year, and you just give a guy some time and see, especially when the season wound down, because he came up and tried to hit the ball really, really hard, and for the most part, didn't. And I still thought there was quite a bit of talent in that guy, but he takes that lesson that he took from last year, implements a new game plan, lifts a few weights, and is now hitting the hell out of baseballs. It has been a phenomenal turnaround for him this season. And I do think that he's probably not going to finish 6th in exit velocity this year in baseball. I feel confident in that. But even when it falls off a little bit, he's hitting the ball so hard and has an improved approach at the plate to the point where I don't think the fall off is going to be that hard for him. So I think he has certainly raised the floor, and he has really raised the ceiling on what he can be. And then you're having big moments from other guys, like Lucas Clase the other night, hitting a big home run. They're coming up big. Clement has found much more consistency on the offensive side of things in his game. Like, there's a lot that you can be very excited about right now on this Blue Jays offense. How much of it is sustainable, we'll see. I don't think this will last forever, but I do think what it means is that the Blue Jays, and we have a trade deadline target piece up, the Blue Jays, I think, can go a little bit more big game hunting here. I think you have now at least enough depth that if someone gets hurt, you feel okay for a couple of weeks putting in a Clase, putting in a Lucas. But now that, Jimenez is back, you have Clement kind of bouncing around a little bit, trying to get Barger and everyone fit in there. I think this means you can go out and, instead of, okay, well, we need a depth bat for this, we need a depth bat for that, you have those in the organization now. Go raise the ceiling of this team. Go get the Luis Robert trade that I wanted. The Devers one probably won't happen because he seems to have turned it around a little bit. Although, I mean, Boston hasn't, so we'll see. But go make that big splash and try to really push this team in there. And then all of a sudden you either have a bunch of young pieces that have raised their trade value, or you have improved organizational depth because of how well these guys have played. So I think it opens the door for the Blue Jays to be a little bit more aggressive at the trade deadline. But obviously pitching is the biggest concern. They don't have a number 5 right now. Francis is pitching in a way that really makes you question how low that floor is, because it is worse than you could even thought. And last year, he was one of their more effective pitchers at times last season. You didn't think that would continue, but okay, yeah, he's a fine number 4. That's all you need to get out of him. You're not getting that. You're not getting major league quality pitching out of him right now. And that is a major, major problem for this team. So I think that there is a lot that this team needs to be worried about on the pitching side. We'll see about Scherzer. They don't have a number 5 elsewhere in the organization. They've tried a bunch. It hasn't worked, but let's see what they get out of that. And then the bullpen is becoming more and more of an issue as games against the Cardinals become a whole lot closer than they need to, and leads get blown and everything like that. So there's some concern around this team right now. But at least they're still winning. Like, I painted a negative picture there, and there's a concern around this team. They're 8 games above 500. They are playing phenomenal baseball. They have just won 3 series in a row. Again, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. Like, this is a team that is rolling here. So enjoy it, because I am, for sure.